Things just took a horrifying turn for the Toronto Blue Jays as following yet another brutal loss, their fourth in a row. New reports, new rumors, and even comments from the players and the manager have come out revealing that this is a lot worse than Jays fans thought. We're going to break down exactly what that is and discuss what this means going forward, as well as break down multiple updates ahead of tonight's game. But before we get into it, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. Your guys' support has been unbelievable despite the losing streak. So if you want to help me towards the big goal of 20,000 subscribers, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot to go over today, and the Jays are obviously coming off of a very bad loss once again. And there's one clear problem, and it's at the point now where it's not just a fluke. Things have taken a pretty horrifying turn for this team, and it's specifically regarding the offense. And Hazel May came out with a tweet, early this morning surrounding that. And Chris Bassett came out and said, again, Hazel May tweeted, Chris Bassett said, "We knew April was going to be hard for us. Just keep grinding. Don't panic about these stretches. We have to come out of April on a good foot. We're there. It would be better to face lower level pitchers more than top guys over and over." And there's a few different things here. Now, obviously, the Jays offense is not only bad, it is historically bad when it comes to its power right now. When we think about last season, the year before, ever since Ross Atkins traded Teoscar Hernandez and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the offense has taken a turn for defense. Now, this season, they've been hitting okay as it pertains to singles, at least for the first bit of the year. Now, over the past handful of games, especially during the 4-game losing streak, things have taken a very bad turn. Everyone's cooling off a little bit. We have a stat on Bichette that's a little bit mind-blowing. However, the biggest thing about this is that the Jays are facing, their last 7 starts have all been against elite pitchers. So we knew coming into this month that this is going to be the most difficult month, specifically regarding playing good opposition and good opposing teams, but also they're playing the best pitchers in baseball, not just the American League. They're playing some of the best pitchers in baseball, and that's what Chris Bassett kind of put things into perspective a little bit. But regardless of that, you need to start winning some games. The AL East is not what it used to be. You have the Yankees at 14-10. You have the Red Sox at 14-11. The Jays at 12-12. They're a game out of a wild card spot. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they respond. But things have taken a scary turn. And you look at this here. There are 328 hitters in the MLB who have 200-plus plate appearances dating back to late May of 2024. And Bichette is the only one without a home run. So he has had 328 out of 328 players, he's the only one with 200-plus plate appearances who hasn't hit a home run. And for someone who is a free agent next season, someone who's trying to get his value back up, it's a little bit crazy to think that, of course, the Jays have been going through a ton of power issues. Nathan Lucas hit a home run yesterday, but whether it's Vladdy not having a lot of power this year, Santander, Bichette, of course, Andres Jimenez, who's not known for power, it is a little bit crazy to see that Bichette, someone could hit 15 to 25 home runs. I think, you'd expect maybe 20 home runs from Bo. He has yet to hit a bomb, and it all contributes to what was it's been a very lackluster start in the power department. And you think about Chris Bassett yesterday, he really had a solid start. He gave up 3 earned runs in the bottom of the first, and then from there settled down, went 4 1/3, and only gave up 3 runs the rest of the way. So unfortunately, my pitching style, you're going to give up a lot of those weak contact hits. You just have to hope they don't string them together the way they did, and he wished he used his curveball more for whatever reason. They were on the sweeper tonight. You think about yesterday again, a blue pit, 2 infield hits and a blue pit in the first inning. It is what it is. I think the Jays are going to be okay, but the offense needs to come around. Now, I wanted to bring this up because you look at the lineup. Their lineup right now looks really bad. And of course, Anthony Santander had an off day yesterday. You have Andres Jimenez in the 3-hole. Like, Bo's not giving you power. Vladdy's not giving you power. Jimenez is not giving you power. Springer's cooled down a little bit. Kirk's not going to give you much of anything lately. Roden, depending on how you go. But it's like a black hole from the 5 spot down. And it's not, I would like to see Addison Barger in the lineup more. I would like to see, some other things. Of course, Santander had a day off. Dalton Varsho's on his way back. Andres Jimenez is cooled down. In an ideal world, you have Jimenez down in the 7 or 8 spot. But regardless of any of that, they need to figure this out. And this team is not going to win games hitting no home runs and making a major league record of singles. It's just never going to happen, and it's not going to happen. And you can see John Schneider a couple of weeks ago, saying the power is going to come for this team. And he discussed the decreased offensive power to start the season and how they will find success with the bat. We're now 12 days after that, and it still hasn't came. And of course, we're very early in the season. There's no doubt about it. There's lots of time for Bichette. But again, Bichette made, I guess not MLB history, but it's a record right now among all active players. And it's a little bit absurd that he hasn't hit a home run. Has he came close numerous times? Yes. Am I worried about Bichette not hitting home runs? Not really. But we need him to, the Jays need him to hit bombs, and they need other players to step up as well. Santander, you paid him to hit home runs. He hasn't done that. You pay Vladdy to $500 million to hit home runs. He's been a very good hitter. He's been the Jays' best hitter, so I don't want to put too much hate on Vladdy. And he gets very unlucky sometimes, and especially this season. But in a month of April, where it's going to be an absolute slugfest against these teams, you're playing against the best pitchers. Come playoff time, if the Jays make it, they're going to be facing pitching like this. So you're going to have to be able to adjust to it. There's no doubt about that there. And a few other things. Look at this stat from April 21st. Fewest home runs hit by a Blue Jays team through the first 21 games. And of course, right in the middle of it is the Jays with 12 and 20-25. By none in today's 8-3 loss, as Toronto is now on pace for only 88, the franchise low for a full season. They had 95 in 1979. So they are tied with the fewest home runs. This is the fewest home runs they've had since, 19. I guess the most recent one would be 1991. It is absurd. It is crazy. And the Jays are at a point now where if you don't start to hit for power, you're going to fall into the rankings. There was a point now, a few days ago, the vibes were high. They were 12-8. We were saying the power was going to come. And now you're going a 4-game losing streak. You're 12-12. Luckily, teams in the AL East, no one's running away with it, right? The Red Sox have won 6 out of their last 7. Yankees have lost 2 in a row against the Guardians. And looking at the standings at this point is kind of pointless. But at the same time, it goes to show that the Orioles, the Rays, the Yankees, the Red Sox, none of those teams are going to run away with the division unless the Jays start to falter and really start to slide down in the standings. So it is ridiculous, and hopefully the Jays can get things going because, again, there's articles being made now. Toronto's Blue Jays' lack of power to open the season reaches a historic new low, and they did hit a home run yesterday in light of Nathan Lucas of all people. But you can see this here of the Jays 4 extra base hits, all these different things. Jimenez leads Toronto with 3 homers, which is absolutely absurd. And you look at the schedule ahead, they've lost 4 in a row here. You have an off day tomorrow, and then you play the Yankees where Varsho should be returning. Then you have the Red Sox. So hopefully Varsho, you need to win tonight's game. Get off on a fine foot heading into New York. 1 game above 500. That would be fine. This is a must-win game tonight. It's a must-win game for the team. Keep you in the standings. But most importantly, having good vibes heading into the off day where they play the New York Yankees in the weekend. And then you'll have some reinforcements. You'll have Dalton Varsho. You'll have Eric Swanson hopefully coming back soon. You'll have guys like Max Scherzer making progress, which we'll all have videos on. It's going to be crazy. And as it pertains to that pitching matchup, as we all know, or if you don't know, here it is. Bowden Francis is going today, and then, of course, Thursday they're off, and then they have their aces going in against the New York Yankees with José Berríos, Kevin Gausman, and Chris Bassett. So you're lined up as good as you can against the Yankees. One good series against them, and you're right back in the thick of it in the playoff spot in the AL East, all these different things, but you can't keep giving away games. And most importantly, you have to start hitting for power because if you don't, if Bichette doesn't figure it out, if Vladdy, Santander, George Springer, all these guys don't figure it out soon, even though George has been good to start the year, you're going to be in a very, very tough spot come, May, June, July, when the schedule is easier, but you lost too many games during your tough stretch in April. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap it up. Let us know down below. Let me know down below, what your thoughts are on this. A lot of crazy things happening. Hopefully the Jays can take care of business, and hopefully they field a much better lineup, and hopefully the Jays take care of business tonight.